Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. And Karina has a green card, and like you following the channel for a long time, you already know that. And I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give any legal advice. I don't work for the U.S. government. I don't work for the State Department. I don't work for those immigration companies that charge you an arm and a leg to process a simple green card application or a K-1 visa. I don't give you any legal advice, etc. I'm not an immigration attorney. But I got 9 years experience with green cards and K-1 visas, tourist visas, and spousal visas. I can process a K-1 visa in my sleep. This is your YouTube channel where you can jump on the live stream and ask me questions, and I'll give you all this advice for free. Doesn't cost you a penny, okay? I do it for free out of the goodness of my heart so that you can get your green card and your K-1 visa without paying an immigration attorney $3,000 or $4,000 to do it. The process isn't that difficult. Now, it's also important to remember when you make it through to the K-1 visa embassy interview that you relax. When you go to the visa interview at the embassy, you dress business casual, okay? You relax, don't panic. Make sure you know everything about your sponsor, know everything, okay? You're going to get married in the United States of America. Make sure you know everything about your sponsor, his mom's name, her mom's name. Dad's name, brothers, sisters. What's your address in the United States? Where are you going to live? Do you know where you're going to live in America? Do you know that address? You could be asked that question. They could ask you, where are you going to live in America? KOR, we aren't getting any response for work permit or green card. We filed in February and biometrics May 1st. So May 1st was the biometrics. That's when the green card application really is going to commence processing. May 1st, KO is when it's going to kick in. Immigration was waiting for your biometrics information, the photograph, the fingerprints, and the signature. So May 1st was the biometrics. So you need to be counting from May 1st. So May to June, June, July, July, August. So probably by August, you'll have your work permit if you applied for that. And then by September of 2024, you will have your green card, assuming there's no problems, no RFEs or anything like that. So you still got a ways to go. Just like Karina, she had to wait, waiting and waiting and waiting. She had to wait just like you guys. Easy E. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Did I just knock my hat? What's going on, Easy E? How are you? How's your family? Jen, hello, Diego. No questions from me. Okay. Today, I hope you and Karina have a great weekend. It's Saturday, July 13th, 2024. It's Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. Imagine that, right? Karina says, yeah, total deal. Right? Everyone follow Diego's guide. He's been a great help just waiting on my green card approval. Okay, Jen, I'm going to give you a Mountain Dew salute for that positivity. Now, everybody, remember, I give Mountain Dew salutes for positivity, for embassy interviews getting approved, for scheduling visa interviews, getting your NOA2 letter, getting your NVC welcome letter. I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute. I can do this in my sleep, guys. Processing a green card application isn't difficult. You just got to know what the heck you're doing, and you got to be able to read. You got to be able to write. If you can read and write and follow directions, you can save $3,000 or $4,000 and process the green card application yourself. I've made lots and lots and lots of videos on how to process a green card, how to do it. I've made lots of videos on how to create a K-1 visa application. And the folks that have been following the videos, watch the videos, you guys are getting your K-1 visas approved and your green cards. Priyanka, hi Diego and Karina. What's going on, Priyanka? In Alabama. Priyanka's in Alabama. Now, Priyanka, she got married in Kansas, right? You got married in Kansas, and you moved over to Alabama, and now you're going to probably move to Michigan because you got this fantastic job offer, right? You got your green card, no problem. You got this fantastic job offer in Michigan, and you're going to be going up there to work and make all kinds of money, which is great. Welcome to the United States, the constitutional republic, the capitalist country of the world. Cozy Moth. Hello, Cozy Moth. What's going on, Cozy Moth? Priyanka. Yeah, Diego, thank you for remembering. No problem. Rich Spice Jr. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Now, this YouTube channel is for you guys. It's not my channel. Don't you get sick and tired of watching a YouTube channel and the person says, welcome to my channel. Me, 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 me. That's not how this channel works. This channel is you. My intention of this channel, which was Karina's idea, we were in Colombia, South America, and Karina came up with the idea, is to help you get your green card. Karina has a green card. To help you get your K1 visa approved. Karina has a K1 visa approved. I know how to do this. So, ask me your questions. I do it 3 times a week. What, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, right? 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Miami time, 5 p.m. Albuquerque time, 4 p.m. San Diego time. Francois, good evening, Diego and Karina and Rich. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Guys, we hope you're doing well. Now, Francois is in upstate New York. She's in upstate New York, and very soon she's going to be reunited with her husband-to-be. Not much longer, Francois. Adriana Sarango Nunes. Hello, Diego and Karina. Adriana, ¿cómo estás? ¿Tú bien? Sí, bien. Karina is aquí. Karina, muy relaja. Rich Spice Jr. Question. Pregunta. How do I see when the visa gets approved? When it's out of the 221G holding and when it is issued and the package is expedited. The package isn't there's no nothing's expedited in a green card application or a K1 visa. There's no such thing as an expedite unless it's a dire medical emergency or a military transfer of orders. But if you go online to the USCIS status, you should have a way to go online and check your status. That will tell you what your status is. Okay? You check online. You can check in your iPhone, right here, whatever. There's ways you can check it. There's an application you can put on there on your phone also. Whatever. I don't recommend putting any applications on your phone. That are minimal applications on your phone. The more applications you got on the phone, the more chance somebody can hack into your telephone and get into your stuff. But that's for another video. Let me see. So go online, Rich Spice Jr. Use your phone, cell phone, or the computer, and go check your online in the USCIS status. Francois, the confirmation page included the link for the State Department and the embassy. So I don't know what it says. What are your thoughts? It says that your beneficiary only needs to bring the confirmation page to the visa interview and to the biometrics. You don't have to print the whole dang thing. As you know, I was a little concerned about the DS-160 confirmation page that was sent to us in Arabic. Don't worry about that. And I'm not sure what kind of Arabic it is. I don't know. I have trouble with English. I couldn't even tell you how. I could never learn Arabic. It is my fiance could not read it. Well, if your fiance cannot read it, then it's going to be probably extraterrestrial Arabic. It's Arabic from, let's say, another star system. But Francois, all you got to do is print the confirmation page, whether it's in Arabic or Mandarin Chinese. You make sure your beneficiary brings the confirmation page to the embassy interview and to the biometrics. Whatever Arabic it's in, it's from the star system. I don't know. Let's make up a star system. But if you can't read it, I can't read Arabic. If you can't read Arabic, but I want to give you a Mountain Dew salute because you can read Arabic. You just can't read this Arabic. So maybe it's Arabic from like 20,000 years ago, and the State Department hasn't caught up yet with the times. But relax, Francois. Just print the confirmation page, get it to your beneficiary. He brings it to the biometrics and the visa interview, and you're done. But you got to pay the visa fee, which I believe in Abu Dhabi is paid in cash at the embassy on the day of the interview. I think in the United Arab Emirates at the embassy in Abu Dhabi, is it Abu Dhabi? Where is it? Abu Dhabi? That's you pay it at the day you pay the visa fee on the day of the interview. Cozy Moth, I'm doing okay. I've just been worrying still about my situation and these live streams. The only thing that calms me down, Cozy Moth, relax. We've been there and done that. Karina and I, remember, I got Karina's visa in process at the end of COVID. We had to put up with all that crap, all that shutdown stuff. The embassy is closed. Seriously, for a freaking flu bug? Anyway, that's my opinion. Francois, hello, Diego and Karina. You're drowning? You're not drowning. Francois, come on now. Adriana Sorango Nunez. I already got my invoice number and tried creating a SIC account. However, it appeared a message saying you need a DS-160. Okay, so fill out the DS-160 and submit it to the embassy. And print the confirmation page. Rich Spice Jr., FedEx from Bogota to Cali. FedEx from Bogota to Cali. So that's what's going to happen. You want your beneficiary's passport to be sent from the U.S. Embassy in Bogota to Cali via FedEx? I'm getting confused. Adriana, that mean I have to fill this before being able to schedule my appointment? Yes. Fill out the DS-160 and submit it to the embassy. That's the application for the K-1 visa. The DS-160 is a free form. There's no charge for the DS-160. You submit it to the embassy, you print the confirmation page, and then stuff starts to happen. And then Francois is asking Adriana, how did you get the invoice number? Francois, you get the invoice number by sending an inquiry to the National Visa Center. Ask them for an invoice number. Cozy Moth, my fiance just went back to the United Kingdom today after almost 2 months visit. So we're back to really feeling the weight of the process and the nerves that go along with it. Cozy Moth, Mountain Dew salute. Relax. Listen, you got to relax. Okay? I was separated from Karina for about a year. And it was a horrible experience, but you know what? You make it through it. You get through it. You don't quit. You don't throw in the towel. Time passes. The earth keeps rotating around the sun. The days keep going by faster and faster and faster. And you're going to have your K-1 visa very soon. The time will pass. Rich Spice Jr., thank you. You're welcome. Francois, I know I don't need to print because it states on every page of the application. That's right, Francois. I printed 15 pages of the confirmation page, and that's the truth. Okay? My fiance tells me the letters are mixed up. Don't worry about it. You didn't mess up anything. Your fiance didn't mess up anything. The State Department created the freaking form, and it is what it is, and you submit what you get. And the State Department will accept it because they created it. So, Francois, you're not going to get an RFE. Okay? Nothing's going to happen. Everything's good. You're perfectly good. Francois, you got to put your head on the pillow and relax. Okay? Let's see here. Adriana, another question. I got an email from the U.S. Embassy here in Lima, Peru, saying documents in English or Spanish do not need a translation. That's correct. Is that okay? Yes, it is. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, the U.S. Embassy in Lima, Peru, the U.S. Embassy in the Dominican Republic. You don't have to translate Spanish documents into English, which would be the birth certificate, police certificates. But when you file for the green card, you have to have your birth certificate translated into English by a certified translation company. And I recommend the Spanish group. Priyanka, I will be, and they don't pay me to say that. Priyanka, I will be starting job on August 5th. Congratulations. My husband will be joining me in Michigan at the end of September. We are giving notice on our apartment, which is 60 days. Okay. Will that be an issue with USCIS? No, it won't. But you must report your new address to USCIS. You can either fill it out, go online and notify immigration of your new address, or you can do a paper printout. There's a form you can fill out. I think it's the AR. What is it? There's a form you can fill out where you can mail it to change your address, and you got to do it within 10 days. So within 10 days of you moving and getting a new place in Michigan, you got to notify immigration. You can do it online or you can do it on paper. I can't remember the name of the form. Like it's 15 or something. I can't remember the name of the form. I'll find out. Francois, you are right. Embassy in Abu Dhabi is cash and carry. There you go. Actually, the embassy is American. It's the United States embassy. So it's not really it's not Abu Dhabi's fault. It's the ambassador at the embassy runs the embassy in the UAE is running the show. Mahad Chaudhry, my NOA2 on May 14th, when I received the email, K1 Pakistan Embassy. Good? Okay. Sug Z. Saludos Diego and Karina. How soon can I expect my fiance's social security number? She was already approved for work just a day after biometrics. Permanent residency form is still undergoing decision. Did you go to the Social Security Administration office in your city where you live and apply for your Social Security card? Or did you fill out page 2 of Form 485 and have Homeland Security process your Social Security number via the Social Security Administration? How did you do it? How did you apply for the Social Security card? If you tell me that, I'll answer your question with more accuracy. Francois Diego, minutes after submitting the DS-160, my fiance and I got copies of the confirmation page just like the one I printed. There you go. Adriana, to Francois, I sent an inquiry to the MVC. There you go. That's for the invoice number. Cozy Moth, thank you. Cozy Moth. Relax, okay? The process is horrible, right? It's a long, slow process. It's a horrible separation, but you know what? Karina and I went through it. We've been there and done that. I was doing live streams from Florida, and Karina was in Colombia. I was doing stuff by myself, doing the live streams by myself. I didn't like it. I didn't like being alone, but the time goes by quick. It does. The time goes by quick. Before you know it, okay, your fiance is gonna have his K1 visa in the U.S. Embassy in London. Okay, just relax. Priyanka, for 10-year green card, we will explain to USCIS on a letter that we are in transition, moving from Alabama to Michigan, which is true with evidence. Will that work? Yeah, you got to write an explanation why you were separated. It all depends on how long you're going to be separated from your husband. If it's only going to be a couple of weeks, then just write a letter of explanation that you changed jobs and moved to Michigan. That's sufficient, okay? Just as long as you identify that you moved. And you got to tell immigration that you moved within 10 days after you move. If you don't, there's a problem. Rich Spice Jr., when I scheduled the interview, asked if we wanted a regular Columbia mail or express mail. Oh, okay, I got you. I chose express mail. Now I understand. And paid extra. We are now waiting for it to be issued. Rich gets a Mountain Dew salute because his fiance is going to get an issued K1 visa in her Colombian passport, right? Very soon. Congratulations, Rich. Good job. GS, terrible news about Trump. I'm very upset. What are you upset about with Trump? What did he do? Trump can't do anything. He's a private citizen running for president. So how can you have terrible news about Trump? I don't understand. He's not even in any form of authority anywhere. He's a private citizen running for president. So don't get mad right now. Tell me what happened. Francois, so now it's just a waiting game till we hear from the embassy for the next step. Please and thank you. That's correct, Francois. It's a waiting game. And it's going to be over for you soon. Let me see. Rich Spice Jr., we are 3 weeks after the requested documents have been received in Bogota. Okay. It takes time. In June, July, and August, the embassy in Bogota is always busy. Okay? Everybody wants to go on freaking vacation in July. In Colombia, July is when everybody gets basically takes their 30-day vacation time. So the embassy's busy processing tourist visas. June, July, and August, they're busy processing tourist visas. It's a pain. So everything slows down. Let me see. GS, he's okay though. Sending you both love from England. Trump had an assassination attempt in PA. Grazed ear. What the heck? I didn't know that. He got a grazed ear from an assassination attempt? What the heck? I had no idea. It's not. Well, I hope they caught the person that did it, because the person that did it, he's going to have a long vacation in jail somewhere. Okay? That's not good. Adriana, hi Diego, what are the most important things in your opinion when filling out the DS-160? Be honest. And the I-134. Be honest. Don't make up stuff. Don't make stories. Don't make up stories. If you just be honest, okay? Immigration want to see honesty. That's what they're looking for. Honesty is and integrity will save an immigrant, will save a K-1 visa. Even if there's a bit of a problem, a bit of a boo-hoo, if you're honest and explain it, okay, the consular officer respects the honesty. They don't want to block you from getting a K-1 visa. They want you to be reunited, okay? So GS, that's the first I heard of an assassination attempt on Trump. Was it in the news? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. Sugzy, we chose page 2. Okay. Adriana, just be honest when you fill out the I-134 and the DS-160. Francois says, thank you, Adriana. Francois, I realize it's a snail-type process. Snail is an understatement, and my goal is to do things the right from this point on. That's right. That's all Diego. Appreciate your patience and repeat clarifications, Francois. That's why we're here. Corinne and I are here on this live stream in a global network in 160 countries, helping you all get your green cards and your K-1 visas. Okay? That's why we're here. We want to see family reunification the legal way, not the illegal way, the legal way. Come to America the right way, and you're welcome here. Sneak across the border, okay, without getting the biometrics done, without having a medical exam done, without having a police check done. And then if you do that, don't be surprised if you end up getting deported. Especially if we get a new president, which we're going to probably get starting January of 2025. Just my opinion. Come to this country legally, and you'll get a big hug and a handshake. But if you sneak across the border, you're going to have your ass kicked back to wherever it is you came from. Okay? In a very gentle way. Because we don't like that. Rooster. I started reading the email received from the U.S. Embassy in Manila, Philippines. It's in ready status, but she has one more shot to get third Hep B, received in September. Most are good for 1 year, except for the medical 6 months. So we will slow it down a little as we want the medical complete before scheduling anything. You can get that. You can get that the extra vaccination in the United States. Don't slow down the visa process for a freaking vaccination. Get it done here. Come on now. Francois, it's all over the news. I don't really watch the news too much. It's fake news. But apparently this is a bad thing that's happened to former President Trump. And I will check the news when I get off the live stream in tonight. Okay? But Trump's okay. You told me he's all right. I'm good if he's okay. We don't want anybody getting hurt, okay? We don't want President Biden getting hurt. We don't want President Trump getting hurt. We don't want anybody getting hurt. It's just politics. It's opposing opinions. Okay? Your opinion is this. Trump, Biden wants to run the country this way. Trump wants to run the country this way. It's an opposing opinion, and that's it. There's no reason for any violence. It's ridiculous. It's insane. But anybody that promotes violence, okay, will end up in prison for a long time. Let me see. Francois, honesty is the best policy. People who lie sooner or later will get caught. Ask my ex. Francois, that's a Mountain Dew salute. No mentiras. Nunca mentiras. Never. Be honest with everything, whether it's with immigration, with your family, with your work. Always be honest. When I was in the Navy, I always had to break bad news to my boss. I was a senior chief and my boss was a lieutenant or a lieutenant commander, and I always had to break bad news to him, but it was my job. Okay? It's life. Adriana, thank you very much. Diego and Karina, no problem. Adriana. GS is in England, the United Kingdom. GS, he's okay, Diego. Trump is being evaluated in the hospital. The shooter, 8 shots. He shot 8 shots at President Trump. I believe is down. Love Trump is alive. I'm really sorry, but into your live stream. No, it's good information. I didn't know. I had no freaking idea. But you know, I tell you what. Never advocate any kind of violence against anybody. If you don't like their freaking opinion, tell them your opinion sucks. But that's where it ends, right there. Francois, look at that super chat. Francois, thank you, Francois. Francois says, Hardee's in the morning. Yes, Sunday. Sunday morning is our Hardee's adventure. And a Mountain Dew salute for Francois. But I'm running out of Mountain Dew. But that's okay. Let me see here. GS, he's okay. Trump's okay. Somebody shot at him 8 times? Well, God definitely put his hand over President Trump. Okay? You don't shoot politicians if you don't like them. You don't do that. You go to jail if you do that. If you don't like an opinion politically, just tell them I don't like I like this and my opinion is this. And that's how it ends. You can yell and scream at each other, but you don't hurt each other. And another super chat from Francois, numero dos. Thank you, Francois. We appreciate the super chats. I mean, I have probably saved, I don't know, I've probably saved everybody in the last year, I don't know, $8 to $10 million in immigration fees for attorney fees. At least $10 million. 160,000 people. You know, not everybody jumps on the live stream and makes questions. Lots of people just watch it to learn information. But it's a global channel. I mean, I'm not just hanging out. I'm hanging out here in Florida, but the live stream goes to 160 plus countries. And thanks for the information, GS. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you told me. I had no idea. I just think that Trump's approval rating just probably tripled. Okay. Rich Spice Jr. I went to USCIS webpage and it only has the case approval date when the I-129 was approved. That's where you go. You can go into, it's an online account. It's an online account, you can check online. And if they're telling you it's just giving you the I-129F information, then just wait for the issued status. I don't know. I was in Colombia. I went on the cell phone and I checked the status, and for Karina it said approved and then issued. I said, hey, it's issued. So we went running down to the CAC Center and picked up her K1 visa in Bogota. It was online. Priyanka, thank you, Diego and Karina. My husband and I walked into Hardee's today. Hey, muy bien. Thank you for the recommendation and your incredible work. Priyanka, no problem. And thank you, Francois, for keeping us fed in Hardee's. We appreciate it. Francois, will I or my fiance get the email for the next step? You will, Francois. You are in control of this K1 visa process. You're in control of it. You will get the email. Antonio, in some countries, you can be executed for even talking bad about the president. We are lucky here in America. Yeah. In the United States of America, as long as you don't threaten anybody, you can say pretty much whatever you want to anybody, your opinion. Okay, except on Facebook. If you express your opinion on Facebook and you offend somebody, and then you got to mail them a box of Kleenex, you could get your Facebook account blocked or shut down for 30 days or 2 days or whatever. That right there is communism, socialism, and Marxism. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution allows for speech that you don't agree with, other than threats. You don't want to threaten anybody. But if you're on Facebook and you think that your next door neighbor's cat is ugly, and you post on your Facebook account, Hey, and you include your neighbor in the print. You say, hey, your cat's freaking ugly. It needs, what the heck? You got the ugliest cat in the whole freaking town. And then the lady gets upset and reports you to Facebook. And then Facebook blocks you from posting for 30 days because you offended the old lady. That's communism right there. I recommend you get rid of your Facebook accounts if you have one. Delete it. Get rid of that crap. Delete it. It's not free. It's not a free expression. You cannot express yourself freely on Facebook. Okay? You can't. It's Marxist. So I don't even use it. But Priyanka, we're glad you got to try out Hardee's. And Francois, you're going to get the emails, okay, for the process of this K1. And Antonio's correct. In some countries, you can be executed for talking bad about the president. Well, I can talk bad about presidents, but I won't be executed for talking bad about presidents. Okay, but if you make a threat against the president, then you're going to be in trouble. And just don't do that. Francois, you sure saved me a lot of money. That's for sure, and restored my sanity after the RFE. Man, Francois, I'm going to give you a triple Mountain Dew salute. I'm going to give you a triple Mountain Dew salute. You didn't think you were going to get your K1 approved, right? And then you found this channel, and all the problems that you had, they all went away, and now you're approved. Now you're at the touchdown. You're fixing to punt. Now you're fixing to hit the ball in the end zone. GS, my pleasure. Thanks. And I had no idea, GS. I don't hardly watch the news. It's all fake crap. Okay? I don't watch CNN. It's all fake news. CNN, they don't like Trump. MSNBC, they're not a news media outlet. They're stenographers for the White House, for Biden. You know, the MSNBC don't report news. They don't. Fox News is conservative to some extent, but you know, do you trust everything they say? I don't know. The Daily Mail is pretty good. The British newspaper, the Daily Mail, I kind of trust them because they're indifferent and they report the news. They don't report an opinion. They report information. CNN just gives a freaking opinions. MSNBC is a joke. Fox News is kind of like, well, I don't know. It's all pro-Trump or, you know, it's anti-Biden. I'm looking for a news outlet that is independent, that reports information, not opinions. Francois, I'm glad we saved you from lots of money, Francois, thousands of dollars. And GS, my pleasure. Now, GS, you posted the British, that's the British flag, right? That's the British flag, right? That's the Jack, what is it called? I don't remember. But the Red Cross is for St. George, right? The Red Cross is St. George for England. And then the blue and the white cross is for Scotland, right? Because the United Kingdom is England, Scotland, and Wales. Although I think the Scottish people would rather be independent. I don't know. And Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom, but you got some of them folks would rather be independent. I don't know. But I think that's the Union Jack, right? The Union Jack. Francois, Karina, how's your new job? Francois. Karina said she's very good. She said she likes it very much. And she likes it. Yeah. Thanks, Francois, for the question. The chef to Rich Spice Jr., you need to go to the website you booked the interview and then click on DS160 status. There you go. It should have the updated info there. That's another way to do it. Antonio, hey Diego, we got an RFE for my income because I only filed one W-2 on my taxes. I actually made enough, but luckily I had the joint sponsor on standby. Well, Mountain Dew salute for having a joint sponsor on standby because that saved your butt. But my question is, where's the W? If you work two jobs, you should get two W-2s. And then you add up the W-2s, and then you add up and then that number goes on the 1040 when you file your taxes, right? The W-2s have to equal the amount of the total income on your 1040. I'm not a CPA, but I know how to fill out taxes. But good job, Antonio, on having the joint sponsor. Francois discovered this channel when you and Karina started the process, but I joined the class participation later on. There you go. That's great, Francois. So you just kind of hung out and then you realized that I was going to help you big time. And it's a pleasure to help you. And Greg Ross said that is the Union Jack. Thanks, Greg, thank you for that information. And we appreciate that input. That's the Union. I couldn't remember. It's the Union Jack. So it's the red cross is St. George, the white cross and the blue is for Scotland. I don't know where Wales fits in, but Wales is part of it too. And Northern Ireland is also part of the United Kingdom. So that it is what it is. But what I like about the United Kingdom are the fish and chips, the Jaffa cakes, the marmalade, the Yorkshire pudding. That's what and salad cream. That's what I like about. I'm into food, guys. The British, they got some really creative foods. Pork pies and pasties. Let's see, Francois. We're glad to help, Francois. We're glad to help you, Francois. Antonio, yes, I have 2 W-2s, but the lady at USCIS told us if I didn't file the other W-2, it's useless to send it to USCIS. That's correct. You got to file it to the freaking IRS. And apparently, I overpaid the IRS. I went to the mailbox today, and there was a big letter. It says a letter in there. It said IRS written all over it. And I said, oh, they want more money from me. They didn't squeeze enough lemon out of the juice. They want more water out of the stone. I got a letter from the IRS today. I thought, man, okay, how much more I got to pay him? Maybe Biden needed more money for his vacation in Delaware. So I opened the letter, and it was a check for money. I guess I paid him too much. So they gave me back some money. Then I said, hey, Karina, look at this check. The IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, has given us back money. This is the first time in my life this has ever happened. So look at this check and don't forget it, because it ain't going to happen again. They love taking money. Antonio, you got to file both W-2s to the IRS. Greg Ross, beans on toast and Yorkshire pudding as well. I'm a fan. Beans on toast, yes. Beans on toast. Beans on toast are good. LK, how long did you wait after biometrics? Did you guys have an interview? Okay, you got biometrics twice. Karina had her biometrics in Bogota, Colombia on November 9th, 2023. And then she had her biometrics in the United States of America in New Orleans on March 22nd, 2024. On March 22nd, 2024, Karina had her biometrics in the United States in New Orleans. And then 3 months later, was it, Trey Mays? She got a work permit. And then 3 weeks after that, she got her green card. Boom, she has her green card. She's legal. And then we went to the Social Security Administration with her green card. We checked into the Social Security Administration, and Karina said, I translated, here's my green card, update my status in the United States. So the gentleman went in the computer and changed Karina's status from temporary work permit to legal permanent resident. And then 5 days later, she got a new Social Security card and all that crap that says work authorized only by Homeland Security has gone away. She has a Social Security card like mine. It's just the card and the number. And Greg, thanks for the update on that information. Antonio, we got our biometrics appointment on the mail today. We have to go to Jackson, Mississippi. Antonio, where do you live? What state? Mountain Dew salute, Antonio, for getting your biometrics appointment. Which state do you live in? Do you live in Mississippi? Or do you live in Alabama? You live in North Louisiana. That's right. So you live in North Louisiana. So that's what, near Baton Rouge. And your biometrics is in Mississippi. I'm kind of amazed they didn't have your biometrics in New Orleans. But maybe it's closer to go to Mississippi than it is to New Orleans if you live in North Louisiana. Just my opinion. It's probably closer. But we had to drive from Florida to Alabama to Mississippi to Louisiana to get her biometrics. So you're an hour away from Jackson. Gotcha. Francois Livingston, in your K1 visa process expertise. I'm the expert. That's why you're here. How long do you think we will hear about the next step? For the embassy, it all depends on how busy they are. Is biometrics next? And then we start looking for an appointment opening. No, you're going to schedule the biometrics and the appointment on the same, in the same process. Okay. You should receive an email, Francois, from the United Arab Emirates U.S. Embassy in Abu Dhabi. They should send you an email with instructions on how to process the visa application. They should tell you, click on this link, and this is where you schedule the biometrics. Click on this link. This is where you schedule the visa interview. Then on the day of the visa interview in the United Arab Emirates, your prometido, your beneficiary, will pay for his K1 visa either in US dollars. I believe he's going to have to pay in US dollars or in cash from the United Arab Emirates. But it's all done. You gotta wait for the email from the embassy for the instructions. What I would do, Francois, I sent an email to the U.S. Embassy in Abu Dhabi and ask him for the list of instructions to schedule the visa interview. Send him an email. Antonio, I'm 4 hours away from New Orleans, so it's closer to go to Jackson, Mississippi then, right? LK, great. Our biometrics is on Wednesday in Atlanta, Georgia. That's a Mountain Dew salute. Congratulations, LK. Atlanta, Georgia. Now remember, leave early, or better yet, is on Wednesday. Spend the night in Atlanta, close to the biometrics office. Go find out where the immigration office is in Atlanta. Get a hotel the night before, close to the immigration office, so you don't get caught in all the traffic. The Atlanta traffic is horrendous. Okay, and you could be late for the appointment if you get stuck in that traffic. So if your appointment is on Wednesday, drive up to Atlanta on Tuesday, spend the night, get a hotel really close to the immigration office, and then park. If you can walk to the immigration office from the hotel, that would be great. Then that way you don't get stuck in all the traffic and then miss your appointment. It could happen. It's happened to other people. People don't plan ahead for traffic. People in Bogota, Colombia. The traffic in Bogota, Colombia is crazy. Okay? People jump in a taxi to go from here to here, and they sit in a taxi for 3 hours. It's quicker to catch the Transmillennial. Get on the bus. Okay? So if you have a K1 visa appointment in Bogota, Colombia, and you live in Bogota, but you live clear across the other part, you're in South Bogota, get up, give yourself plenty of time to get to the visa interview. Francois, if that's in the same mumble jumble Arabic, we'll be in a hot mess. No, it's not. You got to email the embassy in English, and they will respond to you in English. You got to ask them what. The DS-160 doesn't give you instructions on how to schedule the visa interview. The DS-160 is the application. You got to email the embassy in the United Arab Emirates and ask them, can you send me the instructions on how to schedule the visa interview? Okay, Francois, just to be clear, you want me to email the embassy in Abu Dhabi now about the instructions for the visa process? That's correct. You have submitted the DS-160, right? Francois, you submitted the DS-160 to the embassy. You printed the confirmation page and all that extraterrestrial Zeta Reticuli mumbo jumbo, right? You did all that. Now, email the embassy and ask them for instructions on how to schedule the visa interview. And in fact, after the live stream, I'm going to look it up for you. What's today? Saturday? So on Monday, I'll be back to help you. And if anybody needs the email address to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, I have it. I can give it to you right now. Antonio, when would be a good idea to stop doing job applications if our biometrics is on July 26th? Antonio, you start doing job applications when you have your work permit in your hand or the green card in your hand. You don't apply for any jobs until you have the work permit in your hand. Lots of jobs, lots of companies are asking for the work permit number. What is your work permit number? What is your alien number on the green card? They're going to ask for that when you apply for a job. If you don't have it, you can't give it. When you get the work permit and you open up the envelope and there it is and you have a big celebration, you go and drink lots of Mountain Dew, okay? You go to your favorite Mexican restaurant and have a celebration. Then you start applying for jobs. Karina applied for her job when she had her work permit in her hand because her job asked for her work permit number and or alien registration number. Well, now she has her green card. So, but she didn't know. You don't have to go back and update with the boss. It's no problem because she's employed, gainfully employed. But you got to wait till you get that in your hand. Francois, why do you suppose they sent us the email confirmation in Arabic? I don't know. It's ridiculous. It should have been in English. LK, how long do you think we'll have to wait to get our green card after biometrics? About 3 to 4 months. Francois, I submitted and got a good night's sleep after a week of stress. There you go. Francois, proceso 10160, 160. And then relaja en la noche. Francois, eternal thanks. I will wait till you give me the email for the embassy in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, you got to email the embassy and ask for instructions on how to process and how to schedule the visa interview. And I'll find it for you. I'll look it up for you. Antonio, does Karina have a hard time trying food here? ¿Te gusta comida aquí? No, Karina likes the food here. My wife is from the Philippines. If a restaurant doesn't have rice, she doesn't want to go. Karina is the same. Arroz, no me gusta. Karina's the same. Listen, we went and ate Mexican yesterday. Okay, and I ordered the 2 burrito supremes. And then Karina said, "Where's the rice?" She's looking on the plate. ¿Dónde mi arroz? I said, it's not included. So she calls the guy over and says, "Hey, dude, come here. I want," in Spanish. She speaks, she's talking, the gentleman spoke Spanish, and Karina said in Spanish, "Por favor, necesita porción arroz, por favor. I want some rice with my freaking burrito." So Karina's like, she's on top of her game, okay? She knows what's going on. Karina likes the food here in the United States. No problem. She said it's different, but it tastes good, okay? But she can get Latina comida aquí. There's Latino food here. But the Philippines is a little different. In the Philippines, your new wife is probably accustomed to lumpia and rice, different kind of rice. But lumpia is really delicious also. When she goes to eat, Antonio, when you go to eat with your Filipino wife, make sure that they got rice in the freaking restaurant. So don't go to Captain D's. Because Captain D's, they don't sell rice. They got fish, they got vegetables, they got hush puppies and French fries, and potatoes. What do they call them? Boiled potatoes. So it makes it life a little bit difficult. Francois deleted a message. What, Francois? How can I answer your question? Andrea Ortega. Hola Diego. Hola Karina. Andrea is Familia Ross. Andrea, hola. ¿Cómo estás? How is Paula? Baby Paula. Asia. Paula. Adria and Ejeri. In work. So Adri's in work. Andrea is Karina's sister-in-law who lives in Bogota, Colombia. Adriano Mauro. Hi, Diego. How long does it take to your passport at the embassy after administrative processing in Senegal? It could take 4 weeks. It could take 4 months. It depends on what they're looking at. They're doing an extra security check. Apparently, Adriano, it could take 4 weeks. It could take 4 months. It all depends. Antonio, Diego, we went to Captain D's Tuesday. But okay, that explains it. You took your Filipino wife to Captain D's, and they didn't have any freaking rice. And so she's throwing a fit. Where's the rice? But you don't get rice at Captain D's. You get fish and vegetables and chicken. Andrea Ortega, Paula, Ejeri, y ella, bien. Y Nala, no olvide nada. Nala's the dog. Nala is también. Paula, dice hola to Tio Diego. So Paula says hi to Uncle Diego. I love being an uncle. I am Uncle Diego to Paula. Paula is mi princesa. Paula's my little princess in Bogota. Hola, Paula. Paula. Everybody say, hola, Paula. Hello, Paula. Paula's 3 años. Paula's 3 years old, but she's got the mind of a 10-year-old. When I was in Bogota, Colombia, okay, and I'm walking around our apartment without any freaking slippers on or whatever because the floor is cold, Paula would look at me and say, Tia, show us. Flip-flops. Paula, she was 2 years old, telling me to put flip-flops on because the floor is cold and I might get sick. Antonio, Captain D's. Yeah, I knew what you said. Mapandano K awake. Hi, Diego and Karina. I received my NOA 2, and it says that my petition was approved, Mountain Dew salute, and sent to the listed consulate. No, it went to the NVC. It's like that written to everyone because I know that it had to go to the NVC. No, it went to the NVC. It didn't go to the consulate. Mapandemo K awake. Your K1 visa went from the USCIS Service Center to the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. Antonio, she loves the Chinese hibachi. Chinese hibachi is pretty good. Karina likes Chinese food. Te gusta comida china? She loves Chinese food. We couldn't find a Chinese restaurant in Bogota, Colombia that we liked though. Because the Chinese food in Colombia, the meat was Colombian meat. It was different. And the rice wasn't, it was different. So we couldn't really, so we just quit. We ate Chinese food once in Bogota, Colombia, about 3 years ago, and we never went back because it was just not, it wasn't, huh? It was different. It didn't taste right. The cebolla was no bueno. Francois Livingston, hola Paula. Paula is 3 years old, okay? She's a beautiful little princess. Okay, very intelligent. She is way advanced for her age. I think she's going to be an engineer or a doctor when she grows up. Really, serious. She was tying her own shoes at 1 year old. 1 year old, her mom, Andrea, would try to tie her shoelaces on her shoes, and Paula would say, no. Joe, no. And Paula was tying her own friggin' shoelaces at 1 year old. Antonio, driver's license soon for Karina, September 3rd. September 3rd, it's July and August. Karina's going to practice. She's going to practice till she's sick of practicing. And then she's going to be streaming about practicing. And then September 3rd, she'll take her written test and then her driver's test. And her written test she can take in Spanish. It's in Spanish, so it's no stress. Tokyo, our cat Tokyo is crying at the door. He wants to come in. Yeah, more for it's Tokyo. Let's let the cat in, right? So September 3rd is Karina's driver's test. Mapindano K awake. Thank you, Diego. But I made an inquiry and the embassy responded that it is not yet in hand. How long does it take to reach there? 3 to 4 weeks. USCIS ship K1 visas from the service center, California, Texas, Nebraska, wherever, to the service center, to New Hampshire, in big crates, once every 2 weeks. So they get a big collection of K1 visas, and they put them all in a crate, and then they ship them off to the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. And then the National Visa Center takes them time for them to sort out the K1 visas and the embassies. Okay, this one's going to Colombia. This one's going to Turkey. This one's going to Senegal. Ghana. It's a complicated process. It's a lot of logistics, and it's not easy. So everybody's in a big hurry. I got to get my green card. I got to get my K1 visa, but it's a very complicated, slow process. It's not an easy thing to do. You just can't show up and get your K1 visa approved and then get your embassy interview and then boom. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Now it does work that way for me. When I was when I got a visa to live in Colombia for 12 months. I applied to the Colombian immigration for a visa to live in Colombia for a year with Karina because it was I wasn't going to wait. I wasn't going to be separated for 2 years. So it took about 5 weeks, but I got approved to live in Colombia for a year and got a cedula. I had to go through an investigation with the Colombian police. They took my fingerprints. They took my photograph. They gave me a cedula. And when it expired, a month before it expired, I left Colombia and came back to the United States and then started the process for Karina's K1 visa. And then I flew back to Colombia as a tourist, not as a retiree cedula, whatever you call it, an M visa. Yeah, Mapendano, your K1 visa will go to the National Visa Center, not to the consulate. And they ship them out every 2 weeks. So give it time. Andrea, are you still with us? Andrea, tú aquí con Livestream. Andrea, Paula, mira Livestream. Paula, no lo sé. Paula, hola. Paula's my niece, and Adria's my nephew. Andrea's my sister-in-law. Adria's my brother-in-law. And they're from Venezuela, but they live in Colombia. But Paula was born in Colombia. So Paula's Colombian, and her brother is Venezuelan. So it's, that's the consequences of having a bad government in Venezuela. And if I can, if it's possible to get Paula and Adria to the United States, I'm all in. Let's get them over here. Let's get the family reunited here in the United States. Because Andrea and Karina love hanging out together. They're like, but Andrea, she likes to buy these phone protectors. These things right here. What is this called? The protection, the shock. Andrea she trades out once every 2 weeks. But that's okay. We love Andrea. Antonio, when are you all going back to Colombia? Well, Colombia is in South Carolina. Colombia, Columbia, that's in South Carolina. But Colombia, the country, is this. There's no U in Colombia. Tokyo. Colombia is spelled with an O, not with a U. And if I say Colombia with a U, everybody in Colombia is going to beat me up. We are not leaving the United States until Karina is a U.S. citizen. When Karina is an American citizen and she's speaking English, there's an iPhone typo. Okay, I'll give you a mulligan. Okay, Karina and I will fly. We want to go to England for vacation. We want to go back to Colombia, obviously, visit family. But we're not going to do that till Karina has a U.S. passport. In order to get a U.S. passport, she's got to be a U.S. citizen. In order to be a U.S. citizen, she's got to be in the United States for 3 years, putting up with me. Okay? And she's going to do it. She's intelligent. She got a degree in tax accounting. When she's a citizen of the United States, then we're going to go back and visit family. We are not leaving the United States until Karina is a U.S. citizen. And Tokyo, mi amor, aquí. Tokyo, our cat, is right here. And he's playing, look. I don't know if you can see him. There's Tokyo. Right there. And he's scratching himself. I don't know why he's scratching himself, but it is what it is. Now I got to fix all the logistics here because I destroyed everything so you can see Tokyo. There we go. So there's Tokyo. He's down on the floor scratching himself. Yeah, Colombia is spelled Colombia. Colombia. If you spell Colombia with a U, that is very offensive to Colombians. Seriously, it's very offensive. Starbucks, the coffee company out of Seattle, they wanted to franchise their company into Colombia. So the director, I guess the head person, the marketing guru at Starbucks, sent a letter to the Colombian government and asked permission to franchise in Colombia. And the director of marketing for Starbucks spelled Colombia with a U, Columbia, Colombia. The Colombian government sent a letter back to the Starbucks representative and said, we ain't interested because you can't even spell the name of our country correctly. Seriously. So the Colombian government told Starbucks to pack sand. We're not interested in you franchising in Colombia. You can't even spell the name of the country correctly. Look how it's spelled on my hand. So the president of marketing for Starbucks wrote a letter back to the Colombian government and said, I'm sorry, it was a typo on my iPhone. I apologize. We apologize on behalf of all the employees of Starbucks, the president of Starbucks. We apologize profusely. Please give us a second chance. And the Colombian government, being capitalists as they are, just like we are in America, they said, okay, just don't mess it up again. So then Starbucks is now pretty much all over Colombia. So is McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. We went to the very first McDonald's that ever opened in Colombia, opened in the Andino Mall in Bogota. And Corinne and I, we went there. And the price of a hamburger was the way it used to be in the United States 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you could buy a Big Mac for what? $2.50, $3, $3.50. That's how much it costs in McDonald's in Colombia. The price is good. Here it costs what? $18 for a Big Mac? I don't know. Depends on if you're in California. You know, if you live in California, my condolences. Because now it's cheaper to go eat at a Chinese restaurant than it is to go get a Big Mac and a big order of fries. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour. Do you have any more questions for me? I want to answer them for you. I want to answer them. If you have no more questions, we will be back for another fantastic hour of fun and joviality. That's a new word. On Monday. Let me know. I'll give you a few minutes to ask me some questions, and if not, I will log off and go and bring Tokyo away from the blinds before he destroys them, because he's trying to talk to his buddy out in the garden. No more questions. Ciao, Andrea. Ciao, Paula, Asia. I don't know if Greg is watching, my brother, Greg, and a salute to Greg. Francois, see you guys on Monday.